So I wanted to come up with a piece of content that you could share to put everyone in your life passive aggressively on notice while making yourself laugh and reminding yourself that you are no longer going to be giving your energy, time, money, heart, soul, attention to things that don't serve your greater good anymore. So here we go. I've officially entered the chapter of my life where I no longer give any fucks to anyone or anything. You've been warned. I've put this in a content form on all the social medias. You can go to Instagram at ProjectME with Tiffany and share it. Share it and declare it proudly. And that's what this episode is all about today, is moving into that era of your life where you're in the zero fucks given zone. I wasn't free until I did this. In my 20s, I thought the feeling of freedom would come once I made $100,000 a year. Then when that didn't happen, I thought it would happen when I had $1 million in the bank. And then when that didn't happen, I thought it would be once I left my corporate career to start a business. And then I thought it would be once I reached a certain size physically and had a certain look. And then when that didn't happen, I had a full-blown multi-week meltdown. What I wish I could have told that tormented version of me is nothing will make you feel truly free until you stop giving a fuck about what other people think of you. And to get to this zero fuck zone, as I call it, you have to first decide you're done with giving your energy and time to what other people are thinking or what they might be thinking of you or what they might do or what they might say, and instead give all those fucks to the things that make you happy, that excite you, that make you feel safe, loved, nurtured, fulfilled, thrilled. If someone has a problem with it, they clearly aren't in full support of your happiness and well-being, and they need to go. When you start to put yourself and your needs first, you will quickly find out who stays and who needs to go from your life. Let's get into the full story of how I went from giving away way too many fucks to giving none. If you're tired of hearing the same old basic mindset and motivational fluff talk, you've come to the right show. Welcome to Project Me with Tiffany Carter, the podcast where we dish on everything from managing that crazy brain of yours to manifesting abundance to my straightforward, actionable steps that will make you major money online. Now, I'm not your typical multimillionaire entrepreneur. It takes a small village to keep my anxiety and depression in check. I'm inherently disorganized with an intense obsession with office supplies. Your girl here is a digital marketing content expert who's generated over $200 million in sales. I promise by tuning in twice a week, you will get a much needed refreshing dose of truth, clarity, and cash making advice. Now let's get to it. What up, my people, my posse, my fellow crazies? It's your host, Tiffany Carter, and this is the show that is going to help you grow your business, your bank account, that big, beautiful brain of yours, your relationships, your abundance, and everything in between. You know, I gotta confess something. I've been feeling fatigued lately, really tired emotionally. I've been doing some heavy trauma processing, have had just a lot of additional stress going on with the move. I mean, that shit's never fun. And I felt a little weird about the intro of this episode. I was like, I sound really tired. I recorded it first thing in the morning and I'm like, maybe I should re-record it. And then I was like, God, I don't even know exactly what I'm going to say for this episode. It's an important episode and I really need to deliver the goods and maybe I shouldn't record it now. Maybe I need to do something to get myself in a different energy. And I thought, isn't that funny? The episode is all about not giving a fuck about what other people think. So how about I practice what I preach and get on here and only give a fuck about what I think and trust that what comes through me is what you're supposed to hear and that it can connect and it can convert and it can feel good and you can get something out of it, whether I have energy boosting out of my ass or whether I'm borderline flatlined. Why does my level of energy determine whether a podcast episode or a piece of content or a training or a speaking thing does well? But isn't it funny how so many of us do that? And then we tell ourselves that lie, well, maybe I should wait till tomorrow, till I'm more inspired, till I'm more motivated, till I've slept better. And I'm not saying there aren't some times where that's a good move, but if it's something you often tell yourself, it's a really sneaky way to start procrastinating and putting stuff off, because you want to know what's not possible. Being energized, motivated, inspired, friendly, open, on it, productive, focused. None of that's possible to be any of those things all the time. It's impossible. It's impossible for us to, even if you're like the biggest people pleaser on the planet, which I used to be, it is impossible to please everyone. And you will literally almost die trying. That's why you're exhausted and tired. And if you've been in that spot for years or most of your life, or you're in your 20s and you're like, I feel 80. You might be in your 40s or 50s and you're like, I still feel 80. It's because you have so many energy leaks and time leaks and physical leaks going out and spending all this extra mental bandwidth and energy on worrying about what someone will think if you don't attend the party, or what are they going to think if I don't actually bake the cookies for the kids' bake sale and I go buy them. What will other moms think? And then what about my boss this? And what about if I don't do this in social media? And then people are going to think this of me. Oh my God. Can you imagine how much time you would have added back to your life if all those minutes and even hours you've spent anguishing over what other people thought about what we think other people are thinking, what they're doing, what they're feeling, psychoanalyzing them, doing the what if scenario till no end, you would have definitely several years back on your life. And we can still gain some of that time back. I mean, we really can't get time back, but we can prevent you from wasting more going forward with this episode. And, you know, the reason why it's so easy to fall in that people-pleasing trap, I mean, yes, it also has to do with like your dysfunctional childhood and all of that stuff. But many of you know better. You've gone to therapy, you've read books, you've learned the things. You know you're doing it, okay? You know you're doing it. You know what you need to stop doing. You know what you need to start doing more of. You even are sick of yourself saying it. I need to prioritize my health more and stop putting everyone ahead of myself. I need to do this more. I need to stop doing this more. I need to stop saying yes when I really mean no. Yet you don't. And then you shame yourself and guilt yourself for not doing it. And then that's more energy leakage and more exhaustion and more fatigue, and on we go. The reason is, and I'm calling you out with love and myself at the same time, anytime I notice that I start picking up fucks about anything outside of myself, truly, anything outside of myself is really none of my business. Even what your kids think of you. And I won't go off too much on a tangent on it since I don't have human children, so I don't feel I'm fully qualified to speak on it. But I've coached over 150,000 people, and a large majority of them have kids. Even worrying about what your kids will think of you is also very dangerous. And it can be a very cunning thing your brain could do on convincing yourself how important that is. Because when I say like zero fucks given, a lot of people instantly think, well, I'm not going to be like zero fucks to people. That means I'm one of those people who's arrogant. I'm a narcissist. That means I don't care. That means I'm selfish. That means I'm self-centered. I'm not talking like from the energy of, I don't give a fuck. Who cares about other people? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like zero fucks, sweetie. Like you do you, I'm going to do me. You're not into the fact that I'm leaving my corporate career to be a coach. Well, then you can see me at the bank, honey, when I'm cashing all these checks. That's what I mean by that. Oh, well, you think it's lame that I'm 55 years old and I'm starting an Instagram page and you can't believe that I'm doing this and I'm being public and I'm even showing my kids and my husband and, oh my God, I can't believe she's doing that network marketing thing. That's a pyramid scheme. Okay, Karen, no offense to my Karen listeners, but okay, Karen, thank you for that. And what are you doing with your life? How are you spending your days? Critiquing and criticizing and Judge Judy on everyone else? Thank you. That's what I mean by zero fucks given. You're giving so many away, and each fuck you give away to somebody else, that is one less fuck for yourself, for your dreams, for your family, for your health, for your mental well-being, for your money in the bank. I want you to really start looking at it like that. I had a client that sent me, and I don't know where I put it. I know I have it. She sent me a jar of fucks. They're literally like hand-carved wooden fucks. Hysterical. And I was like, you know what? That's a really good tool to use. I mean, you don't have to necessarily get that, but you can do it even with little pieces of paper. You can do it with coins or candy, something. Where, remember like how people used to do, I don't know if they still do, but like make a swear jar, which we know how that, I mean, you definitely want the swear jar around here. There is a swear jar. You know what it's called? It's called my fucking savings account. There's a lot of money in it. Anyway. So use the swear jar method for fucks. It'd be kind of cool. And I don't want you doing it with anyone in your house. I don't want you doing it with your husband or your kids. If that really feels fun for you, you can. But I really would rather you do it for yourself and actually to keep it to yourself. If you want to share it with a therapist or maybe a really trusted friend or your coach, I guess that's okay. But I want this to be your thing. And put, an M&M, put a Starburst, put a folded Post-it note. I don't care what it is. Put one in there every time you catch yourself giving a fuck away. And I want you to see what ends up happening by the end of the week. And the cool thing is, because you are tying an exercise to doing this, you will naturally end up giving less away. So there's also that great byproduct of it. But it's an interesting experiment for you to do it without judgment. This is observation for yourself. Just look at it like a psychological experiment on yourself. How many fucks are you really giving away? Anytime you're in comparisonitis, you're giving a fuck away. Anytime you're going, God, I wish I was as confident as her, fuck away. Anytime you're saying, oh, I wish I was making money like that'll never happen to me, fuck away. Anytime you're saying, oh, I can't post that, Betsy from The Office will end up telling everybody that I'm a sellout and I don't know what I'm talking about. Fuck away. Anytime you're thinking, oh my God, I can't post this. My mom is going to hate me sharing anything from our family story and she's going to get mad at me and I'm going to have to hear about it. That might even count for 2 fucks away in that jar. And you're going to see how insane it is. I'm telling you, you give heavy fucks away every single day more than you realize, especially if you're scrolling and if you're just in a jam in that part of your life right now. You might be in a season when you're in a jam or a week where you're in a jam where you're wanting what you want, whether it's in love, it's in friendships, it's in money, it's in business. You're wanting what you want so badly and it feels so far away. And you can feel helpless and hopeless. And then you get all in your head. And then you end up getting paralyzed and don't do anything. And then you're in shame about not doing anything. And it goes round and round and round and round. That's when we're more susceptible to giving too many fucks away to other people. So there's an acronym I've shared in other episodes called HALTS, HALTS. Hungry, angry, lonely, tired, stressed. When you're in any of those zones, it's in high red flag zone that Your brain is not to be fully trusted, and you're going to be giving away too many fucks, and you need to be extra careful. And when you're in that space of hungry, angry, lonely, tired, stressed, one thing I want you to start implementing is when someone asks you for a favor, to ask you a question, to come over, to go out, whatever it is, I want you to buy yourself time and say, can I let you know tomorrow I've had a really long day? Can I let you know tomorrow I'm just super slammed today? Whatever you need to say, buy yourself time to pause instead of giving an instant reply to people and what they want to hear, and check yourself. Your nervous system might want to say yes to people please. Your nervous system might want to agree to people please. But you need to really check into what you truly want. What would feel good to you? I used to volunteer, which I'm laughing about. I said this to a private client today, which, by the way, the applications are about to close for my exclusive 2-month private business coaching program. And those are the spring applications. I'm not 100% sure I'm taking summer applicants yet. So if you want to make sure you work with me at a high level and you're done messing around and you want to go full on in your business and have customized support, customized strategy for you, your industry, your ideal client, get your profitable content plan growing so that your content is selling for you even when you're busy or sleeping, making sure we have a customer acquisition system set up that feels good to you so that you're getting consistent leads and converting them into paying clients, and really package or repackage your offers to make them irresistible to your ideal client, not to where it's an option, to where it's, I have to have that. This is what we do inside my highest level way to work with me, which is my 2-month private business coaching program. The link is in the show notes, or you can go to my website, ProjectME with Tiffany, under work with me, or go to my Instagram and give me a follow at ProjectME with Tiffany, and it's in the link in bio in there. And the spring mega bonus sale for my ProjectME Posse business coaching membership, that will be ending soon. And that's a great place to go as kind of like an entry level way to work with me. Although I do have a lot of my private clients who are in there, and you'll see why. It's the best value of truly anything I offer. It's almost too good to be true. But you can go check that out. The link's also in the show notes and my link in bio on Instagram. And it's projectmewithtiffany.com/ProjectMe Posse. And the mega bonus is pretty amazing. It's my content creation made easy course bundle. It's worth $300 and you get it for free as a new member. And the new member spots are almost full because I keep this membership capped. So if it's full, it will say it on the page, so you'll know. So go check it out. If it doesn't say it, then you can still get in. Where was I going with all this before I went on an entire rant? Oh, one of my new private clients was saying to me how she said she came back to her work. She has a jobby job, which is why she came to me. I call them jobby jobs. It's like where you have a full-time job somewhere else, which is okay. That's an investor in your business and what you want to do. And she's doing the quiet quitting thing, which I support as long as you're being in integrity and you're not stealing from a company and you're still showing up and doing good work. And she agreed, because she didn't pause, to doing a weekend conference thing. And she was riddled with so much anxiety. And she was like, oh my God, I said yes, maybe I should lie and say that I'm sick, and went through that whole dance. And she caught herself. And she went back and said, you know what? I actually can't do it. And then she said she had so much relief. Like, she actually had a panic attack over it. And I go, I get it. In corporate, being that I was in the pharmaceutical world, there were a million medical conferences. And I was such a people pleaser. Not only did I attend them and work them on the weekends, and I'm talking sometimes 3 weekends out of a month, I volunteered to work them. And there was no extra pay for working them. I mean, yeah, you got like free travel, but you're working the whole time. It wasn't like, it was legit work. I'm like, what in the hell? And then I'd be resentful, and then I'd complain, and then I'd be worn down, and then I'd be sick, and then I wouldn't feel well enough to go in the field to sell. So it actually affected me monetarily in my sales numbers, all because I overextended myself. I gave too many fucks away, even though my nervous system said, well, you better say yes, because that's going to get you the promotion and it's going to make your boss happy. And you want to make sure you do that. So you get blah, 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 blah. And that's what you were taught to do. And you can do all the things. And I never paused. It was just like an automatic thing. And then we teach people how to treat us. So then I taught my various bosses, oh, Tiffany will do it. Tiffany will do it. And I guarantee there's many of you listening right now that you're that person in your family and or that person in your business, or if you're working for someone else. Oh, they'll do it. Tiffany will do it. I created that situation, and we can unravel ourselves from this. We can reteach people how to treat us. There's some people you can't because they don't care and they'll try to steamroll you, and then those people have to go. But I had to reteach people what I'm all about, because people would go, oh, Tiffany will do it for me. I can get money from Tiffany. I can ask her for money. I can borrow money from her. And it was like, no, you can't. I used to be the person where you could pick my brain. And now it's like, sure, you can pick it. It's $8 a minute. If you want to pick my brain, you can pay me to pick my brain. That's how I make a living. But I used to let people pick it because I was like, oh, that makes me a good person. I'm being of service. I'm helpful. That's going to make me more likable. That's going to make people feel good about me. That's going to make people refer people to me. No, it doesn't. It makes you a pushover and a sucker, and it makes people subconsciously devalue what you have to offer when you give too many fucks away. In your family, if you're always available and can always do everything for your kids and for your partner, and you'll cook whatever, you'll do whatever, you'll drop everything. Yeah, like if there's an emergency and there's a major emotional issue and you need to be there, that's fine. But it's a good thing to teach the people in your family, even your own children, boundaries around, I don't have the capacity to do that today. You want me to take you and you need new soccer cleats? It's going to have to wait till this weekend. I don't have the energy to do that during the week this week. I have a lot going on, period. And that's how we go, okay, now you can take a fuck out of the jar because you gave a fuck back to yourself. So you can also implement that. I first want you to experiment, though, with how many fucks end up in the jar, but then I want you to start taking fucks out. And in that halt zone, the hungry, angry, lonely, tired, stressed, I was in that last week. I was in that this morning. And that's why I even started down that path of, oh God, I'm going to need to re-record the intro. Should I even be doing this episode right now? I caught myself. I was giving a fuck away. I was giving it away to you, the listener, going, oh, I don't want them to think like I'm low energy and I don't want to be here and I'm a bump on a log and I'm not interesting, and then they're not going to want to listen to the show, and then they'll tell people Tiffany's lost it. She's not as engaging and fun as she used to be. I mean, I really went down this whole path. Well, that's not just one fuck. How many fucks was I giving? And if I'm being really honest about it, this started this morning when I recorded the intro, thought about it for half of my walk to yoga, thought about it a little bit on the way back. If I were to add up all the minutes I spent on giving fucks away, I would say it was a solid 25 to 30 minutes of my precious time that I can't get back. So be gentle with yourself. I've been in the zero fucks given zone for several years now. I've not been in it for 10 years. I would say, how long has it been? A solid 3, but 3 where there's been a lot of work. Like I'm my strongest at it more than ever. But it takes work and practice, especially when you lived the other way. It's like a habit. It's a pattern. Our nervous system initially, it can feel safer and easier and softer and more enjoyable and an instant gratification to giveth thy fuck away first. But then who ends up paying the price? We're riddled with dread. We're riddled with anticipatory anxiety. We're riddled with resentment. We're riddled with shame, self-judgment, ickiness. And then we end up getting mentally and physically fatigued. A lot of us even manifest getting sick because we don't want to help someone move. And don't ask me to fucking help you move. And I'm not going to ask you. I hire people. No one really wants to help you move, just so you know. And if someone does, they've come in heavy clutch for you. And I'm not going to cook. When someone asks me to come over and they're like, oh, you need to bring a dish. And I said, I'll bring a dish. It'll be like, I will be buying the dish. We're doing a potluck. Everyone makes something. Well, I don't make things. I make money. And I'm going to bring a nice dish. I'll go get a handmade pie or something from a bakery. And if that's not good enough for somebody, then I'm not going to their house. Then it's not a good fit for me. And 0 fucks given. And if you have that mentality and you work that muscle and look at it like a muscle, it takes time. So again, be gentle with yourself. But every fuck you take back and every fuck you don't give away, you gain time back, peace back, serenity back, money back. I mean, you get so much back. Joy. There's so much that happens in return that it's mind-blowing and absolutely worth it. And if you start feeling fear and dread, because some of you have some toxic people in your life, okay? And believe me, I did too. I'm pretty good about getting rid of them when they pop up, but they show up every now and again. And these people just take and take and take, the energy vampires. And they give 0 fucks like in a bad way, in a very self-serving way. They're not concerned how depleted you are. That doesn't even cross their mind. They're concerned with getting their needs met and getting whatever they want. And if you stop giving it to them and you flip the script, yeah, you're going to have some toxic people in your life who are nasty, who become extra manipulative. So be aware, you're going to be tested with this entire process. But you know what's cool? It's painful, but it's also cool, is that it'll be very clear who needs to be in your life and who needs to be removed from your life. And some of these people are family members. Some of you might be married to them. And you might not be able to just cut them out immediately, but you can certainly lean out. And then you lean into the people who are safe. You know, if you practice on the people, if this is something really scary to you, as it was for me, practice on some people who feel safer to you. And if you're like, well, I don't have anyone that feels safe to me in my life. Okay, well, practice it with like a stranger, right? If ask for something you need, say no, yes, when you mean it, to, I don't know, if you're getting your car repaired or if it's a client, something like that. That would be a really good place to start doing it, and start doing it with yourself. But people are going to test you, and it's like, so I'm telling you what I need from you, and you're getting angry with me, and I'm telling you with kindness and compassion and genuine sincerity, and you're getting angry with me, and now you're even telling me I'm a bad person, and you're flipping the script on me and saying that I'm selfish, and you're even calling me a narcissist. And yes, I had this happen by someone close to me, by me setting a boundary and saying, your flash anger, I can't accept that in my life anymore. It's very scary. It's jarring to my nervous system. I've never raised my voice to you ever. And getting that flash anger doesn't work for me. And I'm not going to tolerate it. And then, of course, that made this person get flash anger. And then they started saying that I was being a narcissist and all this stuff, just testing me. And I just said, I'm not doing this. I'm not going to engage with this. I'm not accepting this behavior anymore. In fact, I'm going to get off the phone now because I've already stated what's not working for me. Now I got off the phone. And of course I was all riled up and upset because we care. And that sucks when we realize how shitty someone is and toxic. Yeah, it fucking sucks. It hurts. But what hurts more is if we keep giving fucks away to it. So if I sat there and spent the rest of the day and night, which I did spend a few hours, okay? But if I spent the rest of the day and that night and then the next day giving so many fucks to it, I'm doing that to myself. That I'm in control of. And that's the stuff we really need to work on. All that energy I'm putting towards something. Meanwhile, this other person is like, thinking about what's for dinner. Most of these people aren't really concerned with us. Really. We want to think they are. They're actually not. We make up all these scenarios of, oh my God, what they're upset. What are they going to do without me doing this, that, and the other to them? Sadly, most of the time, they're totally self-righteous and have created a scenario where you're the toxic, fucked up person. So I want you to do this with yourself. This is the best freedom you can have. It's not money. It's not getting in the right relationship. It's not getting super skinny. It's not having the right house. It's not magically being infused with confidence. It's you taking your power back by staying in your lane, in your zone, and keeping those fucks to yourself and being in control, which you are, on who you dole those out to and what you dole them out to. Is it dole? Why does that sound weird? Is that how you say it? Dole's like a pineapple. Dole it out to? I don't know. We're going with it. You get to, do I really, is this situation worth a fuck? Is this person worth a fuck? Is this person being upset that I'm not baking the pie and I'm buying a pie? Is this really worth giving a fuck to this? Is it worth giving a fuck whether or not a client decides to work with me or join my program? Is it worth giving a fuck whether someone follows through and with a promise that they made to me? Sometimes it is worth giving a fuck, but at least pause and ask yourself if it's worth it, because that puts you and reminds you that you're in control of it. You get to determine where that energy goes. And that's where it ends up flowing. You're creating a canal. And does this person get a fuck canal? Are they getting a canal with like fuck streaming down to them? Is that really what you want to do? Because you have a limited amount of fucks, and that's what I want to end with. When you're doing this jar exercise, bowl, whatever feels fun to you, maybe give yourself a number. Like maybe you have like 40 pennies or 40 Starburst or whatever. Don't have a limitless supply of fucks because that's not possible. Go with a number that feels appropriate for you, because we don't have an unlimited amount of fucks to give. In fact, it's the opposite. We have a limited amount of fucks. I would say I could that jar that was sent to me, I think has like 40 or 50 fucks in it. And that's probably a pretty good number. I want you to share this episode with the first person who comes to mind, who is just that overgiver, knows that they are, wants to stop, doesn't know how to stop, always feels exhausted, like they don't have time, like they're run ragged and are not happy about it. And they need to have some kind of a clear step to take to start building that muscle to taking their fucks back. This is really taking your power back. And you might be offended by the word fuck. Likely you've not made it to the end of the episode if you are. But the word fuck is just, it's a powerful word. It's like, I'm taking my fucks back, damn it. Because they're yours to have and they're yours to dole out as you please. And only you get to determine that. No one who's married to you, no one you gave birth to, no one who gave birth to you, no one you work for, not a client, not an institution, not the media, not the president, nobody. They're yours, and that is where you stand in your power. Am I going to give a fuck away to this today? What am I going to give my fucks to today? I'm going to hold all my fucks for me and give out 0. And that doesn't make you selfish. That makes you an empowered fucking person who is living in integrity and honesty and is being very diligent and intentional about how you spend your energy so that for the people, places, situations that you really want to flood that love onto and that attention onto, that they get pure energy from you and not the leftovers. Share this episode, take a screenshot of it, share it in your Instagram, Facebook stories, tag me at ProjectME with Tiffany. And remember, spring applications for my 2-month exclusive private business coaching program are closing soon. If that's something that you want to do with me, it's the most exclusive way to work with me. So this is only for people who are like, no, I've done enough group programs, courses. I need this customized. I'm willing to pay the price tag. I want your eyes on my stuff co-creating so that I can be bringing in major cash by the end of the summer and taking my fucks back. All right. Love you guys so much. Wishing you great health, wealth, and worth. 0 fucks given. Let's say it together. If you enjoyed this podcast, please write a 5-star review on iTunes. Not only will this make me super happy, but it will allow more listeners to find our special show. Simply help me help others.